just talking about that. It's been so long. I know.
So we are meeting, the Board of County Commissioners are meeting for a closed session on August the 14th, 23. The board is requested to adjourn into closed session to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, fitness, conditions of appointment, or conditions of initial employment of an individual public officer or employee or prospective public officer or employee, or to hear or investigate a complaint, charge, or grievance by or against an individual public officer or employee pursuant to GS 143-318.11A6. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session. It's been moved by Commissioner, doggone, I keep doing that. Burns, Commissioner Burns, second by Commissioner Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
We are in closed session. We're going to go ahead and get started, yeah. Monica, we're ready? Good evening, everybody. I will call this meeting to order. Board of County Commissioners meeting, August 14th, 2023. We have been in closed session, the commissioners have been in closed session and given direction to staff, no action needs to be taken at this time. Okay, so first to get started, I will read the public charge. The Board of Commissioners asks its members and citizens to conduct themselves in a respectful, courteous manner, both with the board and fellow citizens. At any time, should any member of the board or any citizen fail to observe this public charge, the chair will ask the offending person to leave the meeting until that individual regains personal control. Should the decorum fail to be restored, the chair will recess the meeting until such time that a genuine commitment to the public charge is observed. You will stand with me, and Commissioner Burns, if you will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Thank you. Commissioners, are there any agenda adjustments? Hearing none, we will move on to our announcements, and we will ask our clerk, Ms. Wallace, if she will read our announcements for us.
Good evening, Commissioners and public. I will begin by reading the announcements for tonight's meeting that are published in our agenda and on the website. Stop the Violence and Ceasefire Community Resource Event. The Durham County Sheriff's Office will host a Stop the Violence and Ceasefire Community Resource Event at the Durham County Memorial Stadium, located at 750 Stadium Drive on Saturday, August 19th from 1:30 to 5:30 p.m. This event is part of the Sheriff's Office Project Safe Neighborhoods Initiative. Join Durham community organizations for an afternoon of fun while learning about community resources available to you. There will be back-to-school giveaways, complimentary food from local food trucks, as well as entertainment for all ages. The Durham County Disparity Study Public Hearing. Join Durham County government for a public hearing on the Durham County Disparity Study. This is a great opportunity for your opinions to be heard and your questions to be answered. The event will be held from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on Monday, August 21st at the Durham County Administrative Building 1 in this very space right here. The public hearing is free and open to the public. Participants will be encouraged to share any verbal or written testimony that they would like to share about their experiences working with Durham County. There's also a link here for a website. Building a Safer Community Conference. Durham County Community Intervention and Support Services is gearing up to host the Building a Safer Community Conference on Wednesday, August 23rd from 9:30 a.m. till 2:15 p.m. at the Durham Convention Center located at 301 West Morgan Street. The goal of the one-day conference is to bring together leading experts, advocates, and practitioners to share insights, challenges, and opportunities in a communal space devoted to advancing the field of community violence intervention. The collaborative and informative event is free and includes an overview of health, equity training, panel discussions, and more. There is a link to register for the event. You can also contact the Community Intervention and Support Service Director, Ms. Crystal Harris, and there is her email address also. Apply for a Durham Neighborhood College. The City of Durham and Durham County governments announced the return of their longtime Citizen Academy program, Durham Neighborhood College. After being on hold for 3 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the award-winning program, co-sponsored by the City of Durham and Durham County, provides an opportunity for residents to learn about the operations and services of both local governments. Classes will be held on 7 Thursday nights beginning September 14th through October 26th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Residents looking to play a more active role in the neighborhoods and the Durham community are encouraged to apply. There is a website, and applications are accepted through Thursday, August the 17th. For additional information, you can contact the county's Public Information Office at 919-560-0000. Eligible residents can apply for the county's LIHR program. Durham homeowners can apply for property tax relief through the county's Low-Income Homeowners Relief Program, known as LIHR. This program is a joint effort between the Durham County Tax Administration Office and the Durham County Department of Social Services. The application process for LIHR program is online, accessible via the Durham County DSS website. Residents who wish to receive assistance can also call 919-560-8000. Public engagement opportunities announced for the US 70 East Corridor Study. The Durham Chapel Hill Carborough Metropolitan Planning Organization, DCHC MPO, is pleased to announce the start of the second round of public engagement opportunities as part of its US 70 East Corridor Study. The feedback shared at these upcoming engagement opportunities will guide the study team and MPO as they develop a locally preferred design for the future of the US 70 East Corridor. 4 meetings will be offered to the public to learn about the study and to provide feedback. For additional meeting details and to pre-register, there is a link. Durham County Public Health Immunization Clinic. The new school year is just around the corner. Make sure your children are caught up on all of their vaccinations required for their age before the school year begins. All required vaccinations are available in the Durham County Department of Public Health's Immunization Clinic, and for more information, you can visit their website. NC voter ID cards are now available. The Durham County Board of Elections is now available to issue free North Carolina voter ID cards to individuals that need them for voting purposes. NC voter ID cards will be issued from the Board of Elections during regular business hours, except during the time period between the end of one-stop voting and election day for each election. These cards are valid for 10 years from the date of issuance. Voters requesting new cards will be required to complete the NC voter photo ID card request form. There is a website for more information, or you can contact 919-560-0700. And lastly, International Overdose Awareness Day. You are invited to an evening of celebration spreading love, joy, and support. Please join Durham Tri on August 31st from 6 to 7:30 p.m. for this free event at the Durham Central Park Pavilion located at 501 Foster Street. There will be guest speakers, medication take-back, and much more. That concludes the announcements published in this evening's agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. We appreciate you reading that for us. Are there any other announcements from commissioners? Commissioner Burns?
I have, excuse me, I have 2 that are really quick. So one, I see Dr. Baggett in the back. Hey, how you doing, Tammy? So for those of you all who don't know, the Friends of the Durham Library, they do have a shop of more than 20,000 affordable books. Located at 3825 South Roxborough Street, so in 60 different categories. So I know that we always like to check books out. If you're like me, don't always turn them in. So here's an option for you all to go, perhaps pay for them, have them, keep them, and not have to worry about us sending you a nasty note. But for those of you who don't know, we do have a used bookstore, and it is at the shops at Shops at Hope Valley at 3825 South Roxborough Street. I do apologize for not knowing the time. I will throw that out later. I also want to give a quick shout out to Tammy. The other, so this is the day of Tammy. Tammy Hall on last week, and this goes into my other announcement, actually had our first Empower event. So I think, registered, we didn't have that many, but 192 people registered and filled up this chamber on last week to find out about all the wonderful contractual opportunities that we have between our office, the city, Duke University, RDU, and as we continue to not just say come here, I don't want people to think that it's a one-off. Like we said, this is how you can apply for them. Another great example, we recently awarded the Board of Elections contract, and so tomorrow here at the county, we will be having an MWBE open house. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. A recruitment event for folks who want to work on our Board of Elections. We purchased a new location, and Samet Corporation has that contract, and they will be doing their minority recruitment event, and that's tomorrow, I think from 3 to 5 or 3 to 6, I think 3 to 5, and it's here. So we did an event last week to say, hey, here's how you can get contracts, and this is just the next iteration and making sure that the stuff that we build in this community is built by people in this community. So I hope y'all can come out tomorrow.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Thank you. A lot of really important announcements of important things happening in our community. Thank you to our clerk. And to follow up on what Commissioner Burns just said, this room was packed. Commissioner Howerton and I were here. It was amazing, and it really showed me personally how people are really hungry for this type of event, and people are really interested. They want the opportunity, and that was very clear to me. So I want to thank you, Tammy, and to all of our staff that made that possible. And I look forward to us continuing this practice, because it is clearly what people are looking for, to be connected to the opportunities, and it's our responsibility to make that happen. Thank you. I just wanted to follow up on one thing that I'm sure it will be on our calendar for our next meeting, but just to get it on people's calendars, is that we will have a joint public hearing on Thursday, August 31st in City Hall with the Board of County Commissioners and the City Council on the comprehensive land use plan. This is really, really important. The last time that we adopted a land use plan was in 2005, and now we're 2023. So we really want to hear from the community, and so I just wanted to also get that on people's radar in advance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, hearing none. Thank you for those announcements, and also thanks to staff for that incredible event that had so many business people, young business owners in the chamber. That was really fun. Okay, we will move on to our proclamation. And the first one is Child Support Awareness Month. The board is requested to proclaim August as Child Support Awareness Month, and I will read this proclamation. Durham Board of County Commissioners Proclamation, Child Support Awareness Month 2023. Whereas children are entitled to financial support from their parents in Durham County, North Carolina continues to improve its efforts at child support collections. Whereas North Carolina Child Support Services is dedicated to serving families and children in Durham County. And whereas in state fiscal year 2022 to 2023, $15,420,580,000, and I'm messing up on that, was collected, providing support for approximately 7,907 children. And whereas children who do not receive adequate financial and emotional support from their parents may experience greater difficulty in becoming happy, healthy, and productive adults. and whereas concerned and dedicated judges, county attorneys, clerks of court, sheriff's personnel, and child support professionals work to establish and enforce child support orders for Durham County's children, one of our county's most vital resources. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Brenda Howerton, Chair, and on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim August 2023 as Child Support Awareness Month in Durham County, North Carolina, this 14th day of August 2023. Any comments from the board?
Madam Chair, I just wanted to recognize our DSS staff who's here, and we have our director, Maggie Svetichnian. We have also with us our Director of Chief of Operations, Kelly Inman, and Quanah Jackson Brown, our Child Support Manager. So I would love to have you all come and share comments as well.
Oh, okay. And anyone else that's not at the podium that's from DSS, if you'd like to stand as well. Go ahead.
Thank you for recognizing this important month. I appreciate it. Our staff work really hard, and we received kudos from the state. We're one of the top teams in the state. So, Quanah, anything you want to add?
Yes, we are extremely proud of our team. We actually achieved 4 out of 5 of our incentives. We achieved all of our self-assessment goals. We are happy to be here, elated. We are glad to have our partnering agencies contribute all the things that they contribute. We've had an extremely successful year, and we are looking forward to another successful year. I am so incredibly proud of all of our team members.
For the public, would you say your name?
Quanah Jackson Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm Kelly Inman, Chief Operations Officer for DSS. I would just like to commend Quanah and her team. They're also celebrating as a unit this month. They're doing a lunch and learn for all of the county staff on the 31st, and they're doing an outreach event for anyone who comes to the Human Services Building on the 16th. So we really are excited about that and appreciate their efforts. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else?
I just had a,
Commissioner Lum?
oh,
Me.
she said, I know you said
Shalom.
that you have something on the 31st.
Did you have?
You said it's a 16th event on the outreach. What is it? You just said outreach.
Yeah, so the 16th is going to be an event where there are Quanah staff will be there to answer questions for anybody who comes in the Human Services Building who wants to learn more about child support, establishment or enforcement.
Thank you.
10 to 12?
Yes.
Right, 10 to 12. Yes, and they'll be at the Stop Violence event on Saturday.
Okay, so Commissioner Burns, did you have anything else? Commissioner Lum, did you have? No? Commissioner Jacobs?
Thank you. And I just also want to lift up Quanah, you and all of the child support team. You all are really unsung heroes. People do not recognize the work that goes on behind the scenes. Putting $15 million worth of funding, of financial support back in the hands of families in our community is huge. That's just over the past year. $15 million worth of funding that mothers and children can use for basic needs. And it would not happen without the work of you and your staff. So thank you to you and all the folks that work on this every single day.
Thank you again. Okay, Commissioners, we have minutes. Let's go ahead and approve our minutes. We have regular minutes from June 12, 23, and then a regular session minutes for June 26, 23. I got a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Okay, probably moved by Commissioner alum, and second by Commissioner Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approves 5-0. Our next item, Commissioners, is something that we're all excited about, or with our county 4-H Youth Delegate 2023. Our youth delegate, Mr. O'Brien, is for the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners Youth Voice Program. The board is requested to meet and recognize the 2023 Durham County Youth Delegate. You know, the association started this program years ago, and this was one of the former presidents of the North Carolina Association started this program, and each year that we have it, I'm always looking for youth from Durham. So I'm excited that this year we will have a youth from Durham. So I think we're going to have some photos. I'd like if you will introduce yourselves and make comments that you'd like to make. And then we'll take some pictures and all that.
Thank you so much. My name is Adrienne Monty. I am the Durham 4-H agent, and I have the privilege of working with youth ages 5 to 18 throughout the school year and during the summer. And as our commissioner just mentioned, we, at the end of the month, are going to be attending Youth Voice, and Addie here is going to be our Durham representative and delegate, so I'll let her introduce herself to you.
Hello, my name is Addison Leo Bryant, and I will be attending the North Carolina Youth Voice Conference as the representative delegate for Durham 4-H. I only joined 4-H rather recently, back in March of this year, and since then I've been very much enjoying the program, and I'm very excited for the upcoming conference. I've been homeschooled for most of my school years, having enjoyed and excelled at the sciences, and I'm currently in the process of applying to the Air Force Academy, where I will probably major in biology. The main reason that I decided to join 4-H and attend this conference is because I haven't had many opportunities to join any clubs such as 4-H until recently. My family and I only moved to North Carolina back in 2020, and before that, my father was an active duty Air Force pilot, which meant that me and my family lived overseas. Because of that, I have been able to travel much more than most other people my age, but I have not had the opportunity to be a part of any community clubs such as 4-H. Because of that, I am very grateful for this opportunity, and thank you.
So, thank you. As part of our requirements before attending Youth Voice, we are asked to take a picture with the commissioners. So if you wouldn't mind taking one with Addie, thank you.
So 4-H is something that we all support, and we are, as you can tell, we're really excited that this young lady is going to be part of the Youth Voice next week. So that's the 24th, 25th, and 26th. Like, I'll be in Raleigh for the conference. All right. So we have another recognition that we are very, very proud of. Our Durham County government being selected as top 10 digital county by the Center of Digital Government. And we've got several awards here. Durham County is requested to recognize the awards presented to Durham County government and ISNT by the Center for Digital Government and the National Association of Counties. And we've got a couple here, and Greg is coming to the podium so that he can accept his awards. Durham County has again been selected as a top 10 digital county for its population category, county as by the Center for Digital Government and the National Association, as I said. And we've been trying to give you these awards for a couple of times, and you've been busy, and we are just happy that you're here tonight.
Thank you, and my apology for missing first couple of times.
Well, we're just glad you're here tonight, and we honor you and your team.
Well, thank you, and good evening, county commissioners and county manager. It is certainly an honor to be recognized as one of the top 10 digital counties in the nation. You know, with over 3,000 counties in the nation, what an achievement for Durham County to be recognized as a top 5 digital county in our population category. So congratulations to all of Durham County government. This is not just an IT award, this is recognizing Durham County government, okay? And we certainly want to thank the Center for Digital Government and the National Association of Counties for recognizing Durham County's utilization of technology best practices among U.S. counties. And I am proud and humble to see the great work we do in utilizing technology by our IT team and staff all across the county recognized on the national stage. It is indeed so awesome to work with such high-performing teams and individuals, some of whom are here this evening, and to work alongside our departments who are also committed to applying innovative and emerging technologies to county priorities. So thank you all for the work that you do and for your dedication to Durham County government. And my thanks to the Board of County Commissioners and our county manager, Dr. Sowell, and her executive leadership team for continuing to foster an environment that enables our team and our departments to focus on innovation, creativity, and using technology to make local government better. I thank you all for your continuing support and acknowledging the work that we do. Congratulations again, Durham County government, on being recognized as one of the top 10 digital counties in the nation. Let's continue to pursue bold, cutting-edge approaches to serving our residents. Thank you.
So we have 2 awards for you and your team. I've got both of them here, so you've acknowledged one. And then we have the one of Government's Technology Top 25 Doers, Dreamers, and Drivers for 2023.
So again, I will say I am certainly thrilled and humbled to be named one of Government's Technology's Top 25 Doers, Dreamers, and Drivers for 2023. It certainly is an honor to be recognized alongside such an inspiring group of change makers in the world of government technology. And it's a testimony to Durham County's innovation, culture, and technology leadership. These sorts of awards are the results of being part of a great organization and working with an extraordinary team who I'm grateful to work alongside with day in and day out. Thank you all for your commitment, and thank you all for supporting me. Special thanks to our county manager again and the entire Board of county commissioners who have provided me and the county IT team with the guidance, autonomy, and wherewithal to drive innovation in a culture of excellence. And we still have much work to do, as excellence is not a destination. It's a continuous journey that never ends. So let us continue to innovate and get stuff done. Thank you again for recognizing me this evening.
Commissioners? So, you got, let's see, he wants to take pictures, so let me put this down. So they can take pictures of both of them. Got it? Thank you so much. Oh, you gotta have your boxes. All right. And then this one, let me just put that one in here. It'll be easier to handle. You're welcome. Okay, that's wonderful. Thanks. Commissioner Jacobs, any other comments?
Yeah,
from-
we can't let you get away with us not making any comments, Greg. I just want to say congratulations on both of these incredible national recognitions, Greg. And if you haven't noticed, he happens to be one of the most humble, low-key people there is. First of all, it's really great to have an IT director that's very calm all the time. I don't think I've ever seen you rattled, even when we had the malware attack and everything was shut down. You were calm, cool, and collected. So thank you, Greg. And can you remind us of what year you came to Durham County government?
That's dramatic.
2013. So you came in 2013, and then since 2017, so for the past 6 years, every single year, we've been in the top 20 counties nationally. So I think that says a whole lot about you and the work that you've done. Also, in this day and age, you cannot have an effective government without technology. It is really, again, behind the scenes, it is at the heart of everything that we do. First of all, we have to secure our data. We know that in our world today. And it can be life and death, literally. Second of all, you and your staff have helped us improve our services because having the latest technology improves how we are delivering services to people in our community. And third of all is just sharing information. So again, you and your staff are really the heart that keeps us pumping. So thank you.
Mr. Carter?
I just wanted to add to that a thanks for our IT department's commitment to digital equity and inclusion across the county. I know, Greg, you and your team and our staff have been working with the city and trying to find partners to be sure that all of Durham County residents have access and understand how to use technology, and really appreciate that. I think that's an important part of this award is the commitment to digital equity.
Commissioner Burns?
Mine is really quick. I think I echo the sentiments of our colleagues, but as somebody, in state government, when I think about the work that we do with IT, it is very employee-centered. It is. It's making sure we don't pick up jump drives that we're not supposed to, don't have people shoulder surfing. You can tell I've been catching up on my IT stuff today because I'm behind in my regular job. I do as I say, not as I do to all the employees. The difference between, what you have to do there and what Greg does here is, to Commissioner Carter's point, the digital equity piece and the access piece. So during COVID, when Commissioner Lam and I came in, for those of you who don't know, they had just gotten over a malware attack. The first meeting we had with Greg was like, we're going to do this, and this, so it'll never happen. And it cost a pretty penny, but it was to keep everybody safe. And this board supported it off of, his great recommendations. So that's one. Two, I actually can tell you during the ARPA funding and the great grant funding, him, along with the interim manager at that time, Claudia Hager, went to every part of the county and held classes. I can actually tell you, like, where broadband stops, like what houses, because they actually went out there because people couldn't see these meetings. And I think the other part of it that we just really don't think about, some of the work that he does, it's not just for the employees. Like everything that Greg does is to create, the other departments. There are departments that have to do software updates, have to buy additional software that are not necessarily county government, but they are the sheriff's office and the register of deeds and also the tax office. He has walked through and guided all of those implementations. So I just want y'all to know that his tentacles go throughout this enterprise, go throughout other elected offices, and out into our community. So, brother, everything you get in tonight is everything that you deserve to get. And I just want you to get all your flowers. And I want folks to know that after this next round of grant funding, when they cut on their light switches because they got electricity, when they cut on their computers and have access to internet, brother, it's because of you. So I just say salute and thank you.
So, ditto, ditto, ditto. Thank you. Our next item, Commissioners, is 230595. And that one is the Board of Election receives National Clearinghouse Award from the United States Election Assistance Commission. The board is requested to recognize the Durham County Board of Election for receiving a 2022 Clearinghouse Award, also referred to as Clary Award, from the United States Election Assistance Commission for outstanding innovation in election administration for its poll, county, and audit application. And we have Derek Bowen, is he here? Director of the Board of Election, attending virtually. Is he on virtually? He's not? So he's not here. So he's not here, but we just want to acknowledge him and thank him. And when he is available, we will appreciate him again. Okay, any comments from commissioners? Yes, sir.
I have one quick question, and not to belabor the point. I know we're past this item. One, congrats to Derek. But when Addison came up, she just took a picture and kind of went back to her seat. I did want to know, so I'm not familiar. I know you're familiar. Do we get a report back? Do other kids get to know her great work? I'm curious. Because I see her parents are here, and she just kind of went back to her seat. So is that how that role works? Or I hate to put you back on the spot, Addison.
She is,
or if you could answer it, I just would, because I would love to see a report next. I only bring it up because I was poor growing up. The only camp I could afford was 4-H because it was $4 a week, and I just think it's something that a lot of kids don't get to use, and we kind of glossed over it. So that's why I'm throwing it back out.
Addison, if you'd like to respond to that, feel free. You want to respond to that, and then I can as well. Go ahead.
It's okay, girl.
So,
when you get done, you can come back.
So normally, the youth that attend, they feel free to go back and share what they learned. Is that, yeah, they come back and share with us what they learned if they want to. It's not required. The youth voice is really a lot of young people that want to participate, grow in their leadership. From my experience over the last, and I've been a part of it for the past, I won't say how many years, but quite a while. But anything that you'd like to share with us would be great. Anything for you, Donna, that you know about it? Okay, yeah, but you'll have lots of pictures. Okay, all right, thank you. Commissioners, we're down to our consent agenda. We have 56 items on the consent agenda. There's a lot of items, y'all, that we've gone through most of them as the commissioners, and we've been able to ask staff questions. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to a manager for her to go through those. And if you have any items that you would like to pull for discussion, please let us know, and we will pull those. Anything that you know of right now?
I haven't heard from anyone of any items that they would like to pull, but it would be great if you all had anything to offer on item 230543, the approval of DECO Thrives, the counties for guaranteed income program in the amount of $1.6 million to support families with children accepted into the CGI program with monthly stipends of $750 for at least 1 year with an opportunity to extend. I know that that is something that Commissioner Alam and Chair Howerton both co-founded, so wanted to give you all opportunity to speak on that.
So why don't we, not like pulling them and making staff stay here forever tonight, but why don't we just kind of pull those to the bottom, go ahead and approve the others, and then pull those to the bottom, and then we'll have a little bit of Hail Marys about that and excitement about that, and then does that work for everybody? Yeah, okay.
Well, I had a question about one item to pull. It's not a bad one. I know that we have to suspend the rules to vote, so before we do the consent agenda, I just want to say, don't we need to pull that one also? We got to suspend the rules for the NACO vote, and in the direction it actually says we have to suspend the rules. So I'm just saying we need to pull, it's the last item.
We don't have to suspend the rules because
I'm sorry,
we're voting.
Commissioner Burns, that was an error on my part, so it does say suspend, but we don't have to suspend the rules. The last time it was during a work session.
People nodding at me like I'm slow. Thank you so much, because
Yeah,
it was written that way. Thank
if
you,
it were,
Monica.
yeah, if it was on a work session, we'd need to suspend.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that tonight.
Well, just to clarify, so we'll make that correction on the website, because I don't want people to be confused.
Okay.
Also, shout out to y'all for all the ARPA stuff that is moving forward tonight.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Hey, so why don't we?
Did you say hey?
Okay, so can I get a motion to approve all of the consent items except, what was the two items that we were going to pull? 230543, and what was the other one?
She only asked for one.
The other one was about, I think I wrote that one down. It's the one about all the aqua funding. The contracts, yeah, youth, okay. 0617. Okay, can I get a motion to approve all of the consent agenda items except for those two?
Can I just make a quick comment of something I don't want to pull? I would just like to comment on.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment on the APS item because I just wanted to highlight, because I see so many, I do not want to pull it, but I see so many APS volunteer and staff here, and recognizing them because I know this has been a long conversation discussion. So thank you to all of them for sticking through this, and our staff who are working behind the scenes to get this budget line item through. Thank you.
Okay. So if you'd like to pull that one as well.
I would like to move for approval of the consent
All right,
agenda,
okay.
excluding those two items.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve all of the items except the two that we just mentioned?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes 5-0.
So these are a couple of items that we just want to lift up for the public. I go back to, was 0543, 542, and 543. Okay. So the approval of DCO Thrive, Counties for Guaranteed Income Program in the amount of $1,690,000 to support families with children accepted into the CGI program with monthly stipends of $750. I got thousands on the brain, y'all, for 1 year. So this is a program that the entire board is excited about, that we will, and we are so thankful for the staff. Our chief of staff did the work to get this to us, and we're excited to get this going. This is a program that the cities of mayors have been doing for quite some time around guaranteed income programs. And counties across the nation are beginning to lift those up as well, to have those programs in their counties. And Commissioner Alum and I went to DC to meet with the original folks that got it started, and we were really excited about making this happen here in Durham for our citizens. So to have a little bit of something, if you've never had to raise your children on a little bit of money, it makes a huge difference for our children when the parents can get a little bit more into their budget to ensure that our children are taken care of. So I'm excited about it, and I wanted the rest of the board to be able to lift that up and have comments, and I'll call on Commissioner Alums if you have comments as well.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to first point out and thank, I know she no longer works for the county, but Kate Elander, who was one of the first people who brought this forward to our board and was actually who introduced me that the county was going to be beginning this program. So I really want to thank Kate. We miss her greatly, but I know she's continuing to serve our children here in Durham County. And also, really, really big thanks to Shannon, who has taken this program and run with it and worked through all the nitty-gritty details and getting us to this point to be able to work on it. And I'm really grateful to this board for all of the conversations we've had about this Thrive program, the focus being centered around children. And I think that's been a priority for all of us since we were sworn in, is making sure that we have an impact on our youth. And that is so important because we know for every dollar we invest in a child's early education, early resources, results in getting very passionate, results in $7, I believe, in higher earning potential for them down the road. And this is making sure that our youth are growing up to be able to have better jobs, better education opportunities, better everything that we can provide for them starting at this young age by supporting their families. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the stories from the families. And even though it says $750, correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon, if there's also the surveys that the families will complete, and that provides them an additional $100, so their families can receive up to $850. And that is really, really significant for families that are one financial, or one emergency situation away from financial ruin. This is going to make a huge difference. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the stories and the results from all the residents we're able to help. So thank you, Shannon, Kate, Manager Swell, Donna from the Cooperative Extension. I know you've been part of it. So all of you for bringing this vision to light. And Chair Howerton. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Well, Commissioner Burns.
One, I remember when I first got the email from Commissioner Alam about her being selected. And I remember I don't know if she was worried because she looked at me. She was like, "We're not going to do everything on the website." I was like, "I think this is a great opportunity." While we were in Texas, I had the opportunity to meet, because this came out of County Commission in Chicago, so Chair Periwinkle, but it actually didn't come from the chair, it came from one young girl that was, I forget what district she was in, but I got to talk to her. They have legislative aides. Each commissioner has it. I was like, oh, I wish we had that type of budget. But they went through it. It's been beta tested. I know it might seem odd, but what I really want people to understand is everybody is not whole after the pandemic. So we didn't get to talk about everything on this budget, but on last week, we reopened our low-income housing program because folks still need help with their taxes. I know that Ms. Oxendine is not in here, but we moved some additional money to help low-income families with the food shuttle. And then, Donna, I see you. You were still behind Janelle. And then here we are. So you see a theme in this tonight's agenda where low income is priority, because it is not priority for the state. It has not been priority for the country, but it is a priority for folks living in Durham County. So I also want to just say thank you to all the leadership that took the time. Shannon, the first time she did a presentation, she thought I was coming at her. I just didn't want us to have to go through the labor pains that Chicago went through. And I don't think that we will. I think I think there are going to be some moms and some families out there that are going to be able to buy like that extra amount of food. And the one thing I like, we're not going to do anything that's going to harm people. The thing I like the most, and I'll throw this out because people set these programs up, if you all look at the PowerPoint, there's a marketing manager, there's a manager to put it out, there's going to be material. So we are trying to make sure that this thing is proliferated and promulgated all through this county so that folks know that we have it and we have somebody who can manage it. So I'm thankful for Dr. Sowell putting those FTEs in place, thankful to Shannon for doing the research, and thankful that somebody saw fit to look at this county commission and see 2 leaders that cared enough about their people, and that we had 5 folks that was open to voting for it.
Real quick. So, Commissioner Carter?
I just have one small thing to add, and that is that I believe not only is this, pilot project part of the Counties for Guaranteed Income, right, through NACO, but it's also part of our Early Childhood Action Plan.
Yeah.
And so it is a key strategy in the Early Childhood Action Plan. I think it was even part of 5 to Thrive, which was a one-pager of the action plan. And so it is a key strategy to reduce economic insecurity. And so I'm glad we're not only taking part in this national program, but we are also indeed implementing our action plan that we spent a lot of time developing and funding.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes, I just want to say ditto to all of the comments we've heard, and also to recognize, as I look at our DSS director and leadership here, that this is also part of our approach within Department of Social Services to focus on prevention and intervention. This is consistent with the Child First Family Prevention Act that is being implemented at the state. And we know that stress that families experience when they don't have enough money, when they don't have ability to put food on the table and take care of basic needs, is very much tied to, what we see down the road related to things like abuse and neglect. So we want to, this is again an upstream investment, and so it's consistent with our goals with Department of Social Services, and also, as Commissioner Carter noted, all of our investments in early childhood. Thank you.
So I just want one other thing. When we take these trips and to conferences, we go with the intention to bring something back. And being at the conference and talking with in Chicago, the president, the chair of the commissioners is called president. And in having conversation with her and seeing what they're doing there and what's happening in other counties across the country, this was something that we all embraced and saw that it could be beneficial right here in Durham. So when we go to this conference, I just want the public to understand and to know that we go with the intention to bring something back for us and to have it be Durham's way. Because it's not always going to, everything that we see does not always fit Durham, but we have it fit the Durham way. And this is the Durham way. Because our children cannot thrive if the parents are not thriving. If they don't have a house to live in, if they don't have food and shelter, our children cannot thrive. And they have to have a place to live so that they can get an education, so that they can be productive citizens in our community. So this is just one of the things that we're doing to make sure that our children are getting what they need. So I'm excited, this board is excited that we're doing this, and thank all of our staff that made it happen for us, because we couldn't do it without staff. We bring back and talk about all the stuff we want. If staff doesn't jump on board, we can't make it happen. So thank you. All right, we had one other item that we pulled, and that was number, what was that number? 0617. So that one, commissioners, I thought that you might want to lift up some of the programs, and Claudia's here, that she might want to say something about this. And we are excited that we're going to be pushing the money out the doors for folks. So, Claudia.
I don't think it's, okay, now it's on. Good evening. I feel like we should ring the ARPA bell. We are moving down the line. We're moving down the line with contract approval for the many proposals that the board supported in the RFP community grant process back in December. Just as a quick reminder, we had 75 nonprofit organizations to apply for there was over $20 million worth of ask, and we approved $10.4 million, awarding that to 45 nonprofit organizations. Tonight, we are bringing forward applications within the Youth Initiatives and Enrichment category. And all of these proposals are to address the community's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And youth and their families are still recovering. And we are grateful that these nonprofit partners will help the community to continue to move forward. There are 5 that are in this group, and just a quick update and reminder, we have approved of the 45 partners that were identified back in December. This will be 33 contracts, and so it's a very involved, iterative process, and cannot express that enough. We are partnering. And when you're a partner, you got to keep cleaving until you get to the end of the process. So we are hopeful to have the rest of them finalized within the next few meetings. Real quickly, there are contracts with the City of Durham, Parks and Recreation, Empower Dance Foundation, Kids Note, Museum of Life and Science, and World Relief Durham. These dollars will be used to support academic opportunities. They will also address enrichment programs for summer programming as well as after school. Some contracts will also focus on social and emotional types of support for both youth and their families. So we are excited. There's a lot more information about it in the agenda item and in the contracts. We will also have more on our website, and so we're looking forward to sharing more. So more to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Any comments from commissioners?
Commissioner Jacobs?
Well, thank you, Claudia. I definitely want to ring the ARPA bell. And, you know, even again, you know, these programs, and when you read the description, World Relief, it's a summer camp for kids. Empower Dance, it's to really bring dance classes even to kids in our Durham Housing Authority communities. I mean, all of the programs that are being funded are just wonderful, and they are being delivered by, honestly, some of the treasures that we have in our community. Different entities and organizations that they are proven, and they need support, and they need, this will help bring really the amazing things that they do with children and youth to more children and youth who really need, really could use the engagement and the inspiration, the creativity, the connection that we know is so desperately needed right now. So I'm really excited about them. I also wanted to highlight what Commissioner Burns was trying to, I think, as well, that we do have on our consent agenda that we approved $1.6 million of ARPA funding for food security through the Interfaith Food Shuttle, and $3 million in workforce development programs as well. So a lot on here, and the guaranteed income. These are all being funded by ARPA, and I have been very remiss in not sharing this award that was given to our board before the summer. I keep leaving it in my office, and tonight I ran back to get it at the beginning of the meeting, but this is the Bowles Academy Award that was presented to Durham County as a founding supporter of Made in Durham. And Commissioner Carter and I were both there when this was presented. And so I really want to share this with our whole board, with Durham County staff, with everyone here tonight, the whole community. This is really wonderful. I love the bowl, but also because, the Bowles Initiative, which is now, I know is a national model, it is really a shining star of some of the work that we're doing in Durham County government. And the example, the payback is going to be when we see young people in our community who are getting the good paying jobs that we have in RTP, in Trayburn, and other places. And so that we're going to start seeing that come back. That's going to be the real gift to us and the entire community. So here's our Academy Award.
For the whole thing. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Oh. So I did want to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I want to comment and go along with something everything my colleagues said, and I did reach out to a couple of folks who do have clarification. First off and foremost, I want to thank staff and finance, Claudia, and also to Dr. Sowell for coming in and doing a yeoman's job on developing and executing a very equitable framework. I remember when we first got this funding, I really only wanted to spend it on a few things because I'm all about significant impact. I think if you would have asked me a couple of years ago, affordable housing, I would have had no problem. I would have stood up and said, this is where it needs to go. But I'm also, I'm going to mess up the Margaret Mead quote, where it was like, where she kind of sort of elevates, what if only a few good people do make this change in the world? Well, usually that's what makes a change in the world. So these incremental investments of $350,000, $200,000, I think are going to make a really significant impact. I am saddened, so I'm saying this for the public. One of the investments is with the Museum of Life and Science, and I sit on the board. So for the public, I will be abstaining from this item, but please know that I do support everything. So when it's in the paper tomorrow, Commissioner Burns, don't support for ARPA. That is not what this is, but I will be abstaining from this vote. But just know I'm happy about every single dollar. And I did talk to Deborah, and she did say that we will be talking and highlighting some of these stories. So I can't wait for folks to see live and in living color how these investments will impact the community. Thank you.
So, the only thing, other thing that I'd like to add, if you have not been to Empower Dance Studios or seen the kids that dance for Empower, you have really missed out on something extraordinary. Those kids are just extraordinary in their performances, in their whole presentation, and it's more than just dance. It's about how they present themselves. So that is one that I just encourage everyone to just show up and next time they're performing, just to see how they perform. They're extraordinary. So if there's nothing else, commissioners, on these two items, I will ask for a motion for the two items, 230617, and the other one was 230543.
Madam Chair, move for approval.
Can we do them one at a time, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need to do one at a time because you can't vote on the last one. Okay, so, all right, then I will ask for a motion on 230543.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of 23-053.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Alum, second by Commissioner Jacobs. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes 5-0. And then the other one, 230617.
Madam Chair, I move that item number 230617 be approved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Jacobs, second by Commissioner Alum. Was it Carter or Alum? Both of y'all pointed at each other. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Motion passes 4 and 1 abstention.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have one other item, commissioners. 230590 is a public hearing to adopt the revised county's strong. Yeah, something's wrong here. Yeah, that's not right on my agenda there. Okay, so, yeah, I've got it on this one. It's on the wrong thing there. So 230590, Project Safe Neighborhood. And I believe, there's our sheriff here to present. Where are you? Oh, you're back here? Okay. So the board is requested to receive an update on Project Safe Neighborhood from the sheriff's office, and Sheriff Burkhead is here to conduct this presentation. Good evening.
All right, good evening, Chair Hamilton and Commissioners. You previously received an update from us on Project Safe Neighborhoods, so I won't belabor the point and go through it again, but what I will do is introduce the two newest members of the team at the Durham County Sheriff's Office that will be leading this effort, and then we'll be happy to entertain any questions that you all may have. First, I'll introduce Ms. Tamika Gilmer. Tamika comes to us from CJRC Pretrial Services, longtime Durham resident. She will be the assistant coordinator for Project Safe Neighborhoods. Leading the charge with her assistance is a stranger to no one, Mr. Philip Cousin, Reverend Philip Cousin, Bishop Philip Cousin, former member of this board, longtime member of the Durham community, who has graciously come back to us from the West Coast, come home, and has agreed to lead this effort with myself and my team and Ms. Gimmer. So welcome them to the team, please. So if you all would like for me to go through the slides, I certainly can. I will go through the slides. Next slide. So we all are very familiar with Project Safe Neighborhood. It's been around for 20 plus years, 25 years. As you can see there on the slide, it's led by Department of Justice, DOJ, and we've been having this conversation here in Durham in the Middle District with the U.S. Attorney's Office and our new Assistant U.S. Attorney, Sandra Hairston, about bringing this program back to Durham County, Durham City. The initiative was in place several years ago, in the mid-'90s. Some of you may remember that. It was very successful, and then through a leadership change, there was just some momentum that was lost. And so facing what we are currently facing with the gun violence epidemic and the gun injuries that we see day in and day out from gun violence, I thought it would be appropriate to bring this initiative back that is tried and proven, data-driven, to address gun violence. Currently, there are, I think, 11 active Project Safe neighborhoods in North Carolina, in the Middle District, in the Middle District. Next slide, please. The goal is to reduce crime in all places that we call home, and it really is a holistic approach to addressing violence. And the 4 pillars of Project Safe Neighborhood really set the stage, and it sets the stage with the first pillar, which is community engagement. This is not just a law enforcement initiative. This is not about cuff them and stuff them or lock them up, mass incarceration. This is about strategic enforcement, partnerships in the community where we can lend services to those who are willing to accept our help. And then for those who are not willing to accept our help, there's the accountability piece, which is either prosecution at the state level or at the federal level. Next slide, please. This graph just demonstrates national statistics. We know that chronic offenders are having the most impact and committing most of the crime. Again, this is a strategic strategy that we are going to be very targeted and laser focused, working with all of our partners, including the DA's office, the Durham Police Department, probation, parole, and as I mentioned, the U.S. Attorney's Office. Next slide, please. Just some more national statistics. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So we are in, like I said, we've been in this conversation for quite a while, very intently for the last 18 months or so, which is why I have reclassified 3 vacant positions in the sheriff's office to develop the team that I just presented to you. We will work alongside those in the U.S. Attorney's Office to begin collecting the data. We have already sent an memorandum of understanding to our Durham Police Department as well as our District Attorney's Office. We're waiting for those to pass the legal review for those respective agencies and fully anticipate getting those back in the next few weeks so that we can launch this program. The MOU basically says we'll follow the model because it is very important that we follow the model that is established by the Department of Justice and not deviate from it. And then the second piece is that we share the data, both city and county crime data. So we're looking to get the data from the Durham Police Department, and those conversations are ongoing. And then finally, we'll have a sort of a soft kickoff on August 19th, actually, at the Durham County Stadium. We invite all of you to come out. It really is a ceasefire that we are working with some of our community partners to establish, but we also thought we'd take the opportunity to introduce Project Safe Neighborhoods to the community in a more formal fashion. So from 1:30 to 5:30, Durham County Stadium, and right now, just to show you the level of interest, we have north of 50 organizations that have signed on to participate in the event at the Durham County Stadium on August 19th. So if we can maintain half of that enthusiasm as we move through this initiative, there is no doubt in my mind that we will be successful. And we will continue to host events as we move forward. And as I mentioned a moment ago, there's the accountability piece. We will host several notifications throughout the year. Notifications is where we are calling in individuals that we have identified as offenders, habitual offenders, and through our partnerships, as I mentioned a moment ago. And we will bring them in and offer them an opportunity to take a different path. And we will be prepared through our community partnerships to offer them the services that they need: job training, battling an addiction, mental health, help them with housing, continuing their education, whatever it is they are in need of. We want to be able to offer those services to them and put them on the path to being contributing citizens and not wreaking havoc in our community. On the flip side of that, those who choose not to accept our gracious offer, they will first be prosecuted at the state level through the district attorney's office or through the federal branch at the U.S. Attorney's Office. And the U.S. Attorney has pledged to me that she will aggressively pursue all the cases that she can adopt in her office. So that's sort of the carrot and the stick approach. Next slide, please. That concludes my brief presentation, and we are happy to entertain any questions that you all may have.
Well, Sheriff, I don't have any questions. I really just want to thank you for taking this on. You know, the things that you're doing to save lives in Durham County, I appreciate. And, you know, each day when we hear of another gunshot, it rips us all apart. It rips the entire community apart. It's just not one family that it impacts. It impacts all of us. And I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing to try and attempt to save lives in this community. And I want to thank Reverend Cousin and your teammate back there for jumping in and being a part of this, because we are all a part of it. And good to see you back here, Reverend Cousin. You were on this board years ago, and you can't seem to get away from us, huh? So welcome back. Commissioners, comments, questions?
Thank you, Sheriff Burkhead, and to your team. I just had one quick question. When I'm assuming this is the case, but once the data that you're going to collect, like the parameters, is decided, you'll share that with us of like, okay, this is the type of data we're going to be looking for and collecting from the different agencies? Or can that be shared now? Because you mentioned that it has to go through legal vetting, so I'm assuming after. Okay.
Yeah, I will be able to give a sanitized report on a regular basis. Again, we want to show these individuals that we are here to help them. And so I will guard the data as appropriate, but I certainly will be able to come back to this body and prepare, offer you statistics and show you where we are. And, yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, because just looking at the statistics you provided, I know they're national, but wondering if like those are some of the points that might be collected at the local level. And one thing I'm really interested about is these, like the 5% street blocks, and then the where robberies occur and gun violence occurs, and then the 5% of where law enforcement calls are made. I'm really curious about the overlap, if it's the same or where's the differentiating here locally.
Yeah, that is correct. Again, that's why the data is so critical to this initiative. This is not us just sort of fishing in a big pond. We want to be able to narrow down the scope of our targeted enforcement especially, but also the programs in the areas where we need to infuse the community with programs and share the information with them. So you're absolutely right. And there will be overlap.
Yeah. Thank you.
Commissioner Burns?
One, as always, thank you, Sheriff. I really appreciate it. I think that there are some of us in this room that are really entrenched in the community, and we see just how much this is not necessarily always gang focused. I think we have, I think there are some people who have like this romanticized idea about what gang culture is and how much it exists here, when a lot of what we have is kids looking for family, kids selling drugs, trying to make money, and a drug problem, a serious fentanyl opioid problem. I sit as vice chair of the Crime and Public Safety Subcommittee, and one of the things Commissioner Jacobs and I were sitting in a presentation, and I think too often in this community, we have individuals that want to own an issue, whereas at the end of the day, it could be a gun crime that was caused by fentanyl that then caused a child support issue. And what I would say to the community is what the panelists said to me: you want to own an issue that you can't solve by yourself. If you want to own it, you need to be able to solve it. I can appreciate this collaborative approach. I really seriously can. It's what I want to see from this community. It's what I see folks doing statewide. And it also is showing just how much we want to help people get out of this vicious circle. I do want to throw one or two things out. One, I also want to say, I echo the thank you, but the fact that you already have 50 folks signed up to come out there. So that means that somebody somewhere has decided that you're a trusted advisor or a key stakeholder, because everybody don't want to set their nonprofit up at at every organization. So thank you for being this collaborator that's bringing these folks together. I look forward to being out there with some of those 50 tables. I hope there are also some economic development opportunities out there. I see Dr. Battle. I hope there's some educational opportunities out there. I see an affirmative nod. And my final thing, back to Commissioner Alam's point, help me out. Is UNCG helping you with some of this data? Because I feel like that was what you told us last time. So we do have colleges stepping. Could you speak to that? Because I know they do some of that work.
Yeah, the partnership with UNCG is cemented as part of the MOU, and they will be using their data analyst team that they've been using. John, I think, has been doing it for 18 years, I think he told me when I met with them. So they're also very familiar with the data, the crime data here in Durham. And as a sidebar, several of them live in Durham, and I didn't learn this until just a few months ago. So they are very committed to seeing us attack this issue from a data-driven perspective, and are willing to sign on and have signed on to help us do this. And to the point of collaboration, overwhelming response from the community. We simply put out the call to let folks know what we've been doing, what we are planning to do. Also, they recognize what we've been doing in this space for about 2 years now on a consistent basis, and folks are ready for change. And so we're excited to have the UNCG as a partner along with DOJ and others. So.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Thank you. First of all, I want to say it's great to see you, Reverend Cousin. It's been a long time, so it's really great to see you back in our community after many, many years. And I remember when I first met you, we were sitting in different places. You were sitting up here, I was sitting out there. And so, and I will never forget your support and partnership and frankly your mentorship of me personally. So thank you. So I want to echo some of the things that you said, Sheriff, about the importance of the data related to this. And I did look back. I asked our clerk, who was great, to find the original, very detailed information that we had before. And one of the themes is that PSN is a data-driven initiative. It's not a program. And so I think that's important for the community to understand, that the importance that data will play in this and being able to identify who are really a very small group of people, but our most violent offenders in this community who are causing great harm to people. So I think that's very important for people to understand. And so the data sharing is going to be so important, that it's going to be really important that we do have the partnership and collaboration. And so you mentioned the MOUs. I really hope that everybody will be signing the MOUs and partnering and collaborating, because we really need this to be a success. This is something that we haven't done for a long time. We did this many years ago, before my time. And, we do have a history of kind of starting things and then maybe, not sticking with it, or maybe not staying true to the model. And so I hope that we can all get behind this in terms of the model. As you mentioned, it is a model. It's a data-driven model. I'm glad that UNC Greensboro is going to be helping us, and those at the state and federal level that have the expertise to help us be successful. So thank you, and I look forward to this being a success in our community.
Thank you, Vice Chair Jacobs. I truly, truly stand here before you with an enormous amount of arrogance. I think with your support, we can make this happen. And you just hit on every point that I was hoping you guys would pick up on. This is about saving lives. I've done a presentation to the Joint City-County Board, very well received. I'm having backroom conversations with other city officials, again, because 85% of what the sheriff's office does occurs inside the city. 90% of the crime that we're dealing with occurs inside the city. But at the end of the day, this is my county, and it impacts every single resident of Durham County. And I simply cannot sit on the sidelines and continue to watch the black and brown communities most impacted by these incidents. And so the city, I do believe, is on board. We're looking forward to additional conversations, but each one of you will play a critical role in helping us get this across the finish line and be successful in not just saving lives, but changing lives. And to me, that's the key to success. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for presenting, and I'm looking forward to working with my team. I tell you, they're ready to go. I have to hold them back because they are truly ready to go. And the event on August 19th, I hope you all can stop by and see. I simply said to them, we need to do something in the community to have a soft introduction of PSN and a community event. So what you'll see on Saturday, the 19th, is a result of their work and their efforts. So I applaud them as well. Thank you.
And I'd just like to add one other thing. When Commissioner Jacobs talked about that we had a program like this, and it was, and I'm not sure it was a program, but at that point it was, years ago. And the young lady did not have the support that you have today to get this done. So I'm excited about it reoccurring in a different format.
Thank you.
So
Absolutely. Thank you.
And for the public, Sheriff Burkhead has been before us several times. This is not the first time we're hearing about this. So if you don't hear us asking a whole lot of questions, because we've heard this and we've grilled him more than once. So thank you, Sheriff Burkhead. If there are no other questions, and this is for information only.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you need from us, Sheriff? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, is there anything else? We're down, that was the last item on our agenda. Is there anything else for this board? Is there anything else for this board? One more time, is there anything else from this board? If not, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.